back. You're watching Gravitas. National Security Advisor Ajit Doval held talks with his Chinese counterpart Yang Jechi in Beijing today. The talks happened on the sidelines of the BRICS NSA meeting. While the details of the meeting are not clear, this has raised expectation for a possible solution to the ongoing Doklam standoff. Both Doval and Yang are special representatives of India and China, the India-China border mechanism. It has been more than a month since the standoff began. Earlier today, spokesperson from the Ministry of External Affairs in India, Gopal Bagle, told the media that India wants to solve issues with China on the basis of the Astana consensus.
The relations between India and China are significant, not only for them, for these two countries, but also for the region, for the world. They are a factor of stability, indeed. And the second component being that the differences between India and China should be addressed in a manner that they do not become disputes. So we wish to proceed in accordance with this Astana consensus.
India and China have been locked in a border standoff at the Doklam Plateau, located right in the middle of Bhutan, India and China. It's a tri-junction. Both Bhutan and China stake claim over the Doklam area. India backs Bhutan's claim, but China, who considers the plateau as part of Tibet, wants to build a road through this disputed territory. India is committed by an agreement to come to Bhutan's aid in the event of a security threat located on the western border of Bhutan. Doklam is right next to the Chumbi Valley and in the vicinity of the tri-junction of India, Bhutan and Tibet. If China constructs a road through this area, it can gain access to Sikkim and can potentially block the Siliguri corridor, which connects northeastern states with the rest of India. This is what the standoff has been about. And of course, we're waiting for more news from Beijing to see where talks have led both sides. In the meantime, let's take a look at what's happening in Jammu and Kashmir as the sound of the last post faded from the hills of Kargil and the nation remembered more than 500 officers and men who died during the war, an unwelcome warning from Al-Qaeda and confirmation of its determination to establish a presence in India. The Global Islamic Media Front, the online propaganda distribution arm of Al-Qaeda, put out what it describes as a statement of establishment. The statement named Al-Qaeda's Indian arm as Ansar Ghazwat al-Hind and said that its chief is Zakir Musa, a close aide of slain militant Burhan Wani. Musa is a former Hizbul Mujahideen commander who in an audio clip in May rejected the view that Kashmir was a political, not a religious issue. He said, and I'm quoting, "I see many people in Kashmir are engaged in a war of nationalism which is forbidden in Islam. The fight in Jammu and Kashmir should not be for the sake of the state. It should be exclusively for Islam so that Sharia is established here." Clues to Musa's elevation have been coming for a while now. It may not have come as a surprise to intelligence agencies. There were assessments that he could emerge as the first choice of the Al-Qaeda's India arm. Other clues included a 20-page document issued during Eid last month. It outlined several objectives of Al-Qaeda in the region. This also hinted at expanding operations in the Kashmir Valley. Kashmir's Director General of Police SP Ved has said, and I'm quoting again, "Something has come on social media. We're looking into the matter. This is a first, but for us, it doesn't change anything. For us, a terrorist is a terrorist no matter which organization he belongs to." The appointment appears to have stirred a hornet's nest in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. Syed Salahuddin, current head of the Hizbul Mujahideen and of the United Jihad Council, an umbrella organization representing militant groups in Kashmir, hinted at a confrontation with Al-Qaeda. He said, and I'm quoting again, "There is no scope or room for any international organizations like Daesh, that is the Islamic State, and Al-Qaeda. We do not need them, nor is there any necessity for their presence. We fight for Azadi in Islam. We denounce those who are creating hurdles and misguide people in the name of Sharia and Shahadat." So this is an interesting situation. While it's worrying that the Al-Qaeda is looking to spread its network or to establish one in the Indian subcontinent, it's also interesting that it's facing resistance not just from the security forces and the police in Jammu and Kashmir, but also from the terror outfits who are already operating there. Is Kashmir then going to be the site for another turf war? Will they eliminate each other? Will they neutralize each other? Would be the best case scenario for India, but we're going to have to wait and see. Who is this man? This is a 23-year-old we're talking about, who was an aide of Burhan Wani, who was a part of the Hizbul Mujahideen and has now been named as the Al-Qaeda's chief in Jammu and Kashmir. So how big is the Al-Qaeda threat in India? That's a question that has been asked repeatedly. The Al-Qaeda has been talking about its resurgence, its regrouping in the African continent, and also training its guns on India, looking to recruit from India. So is the ISIS. But the reports haven't given much in terms of numbers and figures and the extent to which they may have penetrated. Now, the appointment of this man, Musa, his elevation, has not come as a surprise to intelligence agencies. As we've been saying, there have been ample indications he was part of the Hizbul Mujahideen and has now switched sides and joined the Al-Qaeda. What's interesting is that he says this fight is not the fight for statehood. This is a fight for the establishment of the Sharia law in Jammu and Kashmir. We're going to take a break now. Still ahead on Gravitas, what makes one man a terrorist and another a freedom fighter? How arbitrary are these decisions? More on that when we return.